thin, like a house of cards, one blow from caving in. Do you ever feel already buried deep, 6 feet under screens, but no one seems to hear a thing? Do you know that there's still a chance for you? 'Cause there's a spark in you. You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just own the night like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go you're gonna leave 'em all in You don't have to feel like a wasted space. You're original, cannot be replaced. If you only knew what the future holds. After a hurricane comes a rainbow. Maybe a reason why all the doors are closed, so you could open one that leads you to the perfect road. Like a lightning bolt, your heart will glow, and when it's time, you know you just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just own the night like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go you're gonna leave 'em all in
Might as well jump. Go ahead and jump. Get ready and jump. Go ahead and jump.
Good evening, Women for Mike. It's great to have you all here. Our program will begin shortly. Thank you so much.
Can't you see what I mean? Might as well jump, jump. Might as well jump. Go ahead and jump, jump. Go ahead and
doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. What doesn't kill you makes a fighter. Footsteps even lighter. Doesn't mean I'm over, 'cause you're gone. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, stronger. Just me, myself, and I. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. It's all in you. Anything you want done, baby, I do it naturally. I'm every woman. It's all in you. I can read your thoughts right now. Every one of them makes you say, oh, see that you can tell. Makes a special groove, put fire inside of you. Anytime you feel danger or fear, then instantly I will appear. 'Cause I'm every woman. It's all in you. Anything you want done, baby, I do it naturally. I can set your needs like rain unto the seas. I can make a rhyme, no confusion in your mind. And when it comes down to some good old-fashioned love, I got it, I got it, I got it, got it, baby. I'm every woman. It's all in you. Anything you want done, baby, I do it naturally. I'm every woman. It's all in you. I can read your thoughts right now. Every one of them makes you say.
Good evening, everyone, and on behalf of Women for Mike, welcome. Our program will begin in 2 minutes. Please take this time to silence your cell phones. Thank you so much.
Fabulous. Weren't they fabulous, huh? They're just too hot. The Bloomberg Brass. Hey there. How's everybody doing? Can you hear me? My name is Audrey Smalls, and I'm a woman for Mike. To be more precise, I'm a New York woman for Mike. I was born, bred, toasted, buttered, jellied, jammed, and honeyed in Harlem. How about this bad musician band? Bloomberg Brass. Tonight, we've got one job, to get this party going, and we need you to help. So we're making a video with Women for Mike all across the country, and you are going to be the stars. And this is our first stop. And we want to record you saying how you feel about our candidate. I like Mike. Louder. I like Mike. 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 All right, Mike. All the mothers in the room, just mothers. Mike. Grandmothers. Grandmothers. I like Mike. I like daughters. Great. Now we got that on tape. And to be honest with you, I feel an Academy Award is coming. Because we need, a woman needs to be winning an Academy Award. But now it's time to start. Are you ready? Are you ready, New York City? Are you ready to meet some of the women who are for Mike? Let's make some more noise. Then let's get it done.
I like Mike because he's willing to be a leader and take charge.
I like Mike because he makes things happen.
I like Mike.
I like Mike.
I like Mike.
I like Mike. I like Mike.
I like Mike.
I like Mike for president.
I like about Mike that he loves America.
In fact, I was one of the first women for
Because he's the president our country desperately needs and deserves. He's the best candidate with the best shot of winning. Personally, I'm horrified by this erratic, incompetent president. Donald Trump is a danger to our country, and he is a danger to our children. He is not fit for the highest office in this country. Take it from me. I spent a decade on TV giving therapy to a lying, cheating crook with mental issues and a slew of cronies willing to lie and break the law for him. So I know what I'm talking about. Donald Trump is an insult to our country. If you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe you don't have Twitter. I don't know who buys the president's lies, but I'm from Brooklyn and I know BS when I hear it. However, ladies, I'm not here just because I want Donald Trump out of the White House. I'm here because I want Mike Bloomberg in it. He will be a great president. He has the track record to prove it. I know Mike, and I know Mike will always stand up and do the right thing. And that's what we need. No more BS, no more talk. By the way, if you want a slick, negative, barking real estate promoter, well, that's not Mike. If you want a Twitter idiot that can't spell, well, that's not Mike either. If you want a reality TV star, that is definitely not Mike Bloomberg. Having a negative, loudmouth, lying reality TV star in the White House is not what this country needs. There is so much riding on this election. We have real problems all over the world that need to be addressed. Mike will do it. But he can't do it alone. He needs our help. He needs our passion, and you have passion. He needs our vote. He needs women to stand up for this campaign and for this country. This is not only a campaign to defeat Donald Trump. The Lord knows, hear my prayers. This is also a campaign to reunite America. We need someone who will bring us together. We're divided, we're polarized, and we can't make progress on any of the issues we face, from climate change to gun violence to the Middle East. We need to elect a president who can put together the pieces. We need to elect a guy who can get it done. I believe the only person for the job, the next president of the United States, is my friend Mike Bloomberg. And Mike, I've been waiting to say that for a very long time. So when you leave tonight, I hope you spread the word about this campaign. Go to the website. Read about what Mike has already accomplished in his lifetime. Talk to your neighbors. Talk to your friends. Reach out to the other side. But more important, let's teach our children about Mike Bloomberg. We need everyone. Rise up, ladies. Our future depends on it. Now it's obvious I like Mike, okay. But I'm not the only one. Watch this.
I'm a pretty good judge of character. Mike Bloomberg won't be just a good president. He will be a great president.
I like Mike because Mike is for gun reform.
Because I worked in New York for 17 years and saw what he was able to accomplish.
Mike is a doer. What I like about Mike Bloomberg is his integrity, his honesty, and he has a good track record.
Because I think he's the only Democratic candidate that can beat Donald Trump.
I feel because he has his own resources, he's not beholden to anyone.
Everybody who needs medicine will be able to get medicine. Everybody who needs to see a doctor will be able to see a doctor.
Mike helps by being out there, speaking against gun violence, standing for what he believes.
Mike did in New York for education. I think he turned the school system on its ear, and I'm hoping he'll also do the same for the United States.
I like Mike.
I like Mike. I am for Mike.
I like Mike.
I think Mike's the best candidate to beat Donald Trump because he understands Donald Trump in a way that most of us don't. He's gone toe-to-toe with him before, and he knows what it takes to beat him.
He'll unite and lead the country. Case closed.
Logo, go. Wait for Brad, hot, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are holding for just a minute for an emergency. If you're around the center of the room, just give a little space. We'll be right back with you. Do you have it?
DJ.
Copy that. Stand by with our animated graphic. Animated graphic, go.
Good evening. I'm C. Virginia Fields, former Manhattan Borough President and City Council member, but also a very active and engaged community person, very much concerned about our country and where we are now. And I understand that we all are here because we either care about one or all of the issues that Mike Bloomberg has set forward, plans that are practical, achievable, and believable. We are all here either because we know Mike Bloomberg or want to learn more about who he is or what he has done. But I think I can say we are all here because we want to defeat Donald Trump. Donald Trump has got to go. Donald Trump has got to go. Donald Trump has betrayed the oath of his office. He has betrayed our country. He has fanned the flame of every negativism, and he has no moral compass. He will say anything. He will do anything. They counted up, and I forgot the number. Some of you may remember the number of lies he had said up until July, and it's more than that now. We need to do what? Defeat Donald Trump. Now, that's it on Donald Trump. Now, we have someone who is organized, thoughtful, well-prepared, lived experiences as an entrepreneur, and has shown how to create jobs. So when you read his all-economic platform about jobs, it's not only about creating jobs now, but preparing people for the future. Today is today. but the future is what we are looking towards, and want to make sure that we have people who are prepared and qualified and ready to take those jobs. He has shown himself as a problem-solving philanthropist, where he puts his money for research, for health care, to fight gun violence, for education, all of the things that we care about. These are the things that he has done. And he is well prepared with lived experiences as a mayor. During his term as mayor, I served as Manhattan Borough President. You never get along, electeds never get along on all things. That's just the way it is, and that's really okay. But you do respect a leader who is thoughtful, who is willing to sit down and bring people to the table, who selects capable and very qualified people to do the work on behalf of other people. So whether you end up on the same side of issues is less important than it is a process that engages people. So he is organized and he is well prepared. And in my work now, as president and founder of the National Black Leadership Commission on Health, I am excited about his proposals to eliminate maternal health disparities in a country. We should not be having those issues, but we do. He began to make great strides with the Affordable Care Act, and now he has proposed to make sure that that will continue as his #1 priority. Now, I am happy about that. As mayor, Michael Bloomberg promoted public health and added 3 years to the life expectancy of New Yorkers. He restored funding for HIV/AIDS, which is one of the health disparities that my office focuses on. But as I move around the country, fighting to eliminate health disparities and achieve health equity, his plans for health care to ensure that people have access to health care, quality health care, to make sure that the Affordable Care Act is strengthened and not eliminated. So we need Mike Bloomberg for health care as well as all of the other issues that we all care about. So in closing, let me simply say, it is critically important to hear what a candidate will do, but it's also critically important to learn and understand what they have done. His record speaks clearly to what he has done, and I believe that Mike Bloomberg will make a difference for this country. And as the previous speaker said, and you will hear it from others, it is up to us to go out there, help people know who Mike Bloomberg is, help people know what he has done and what he will do. Talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends. I was in Birmingham, Alabama recently, where I was born and grew up. And one of my nephews said to me, "Oh, you're from New York. What can you tell me about Mike Bloomberg?" I delighted in the conversation. Now, he's from Maryland, so he has gone back to his hometown of Maryland to talk about Mike Bloomberg. That is how we get it done. That is how we get more people to say, "I like Mike." I like Mike. I like Mike. I like Mike. I like Mike. And I, too, like Mike. Thank you.
evening. First, we would like to, one of our supporters fell ill, and we would like to send her a quick recovery vibes, right? My name is Shanae Johnson, and I am a survivor, and I am also a woman for Mike. I met Mike Bloomberg at one of the darkest times of my life. My 17-year-old son, Kedrick, he was only 3 weeks away from his high school graduation with a scholarship to St. John's waiting for him. He had been shot and killed in Springfield Gardens. Many of you are mothers. Can you imagine what it feels like to receive the worst phone call of your life? I didn't know what to do, and I especially didn't know how to make my son's life and death matter to people. I was completely without hope. But one day I was invited to a Mayor Bloomberg event where we were sitting before it started. It was just a few people, and I told him my story. I felt like he really heard me. He looked me in my eye, and he said that he would do everything he could to end gun violence in America. And guess what? I believed him. There were no reporters in the room. There were no cameras. It was just a father telling a mother that her son's life mattered. So now let's remember when this was. 9 years ago, no politicians were willing to talk about gun violence or propose gun regulations. But Mike Bloomberg was a person to me, not a politician. He wasn't afraid to take it on. He didn't run away from something controversial. He stood up to the pressure and the NRA because he knew that it was the right thing to do. Since meeting Mike, I've had the good fortune to work closely with Moms Demand Action. All right. The grassroots organization that he supports, and we've seen so many victories in court and at the ballot box recently. And I am hopeful, I'm very hopeful for many more to come. That's right, I am hopeful again. And I didn't know if that would ever happen. And now that Mike is running for president, we have a chance to put someone in the White House who really knows what's at stake. A man that believes that we all deserve to be safe. Every mother's child. With our help, President Bloomberg, that's right, can have the greatest, President Bloomberg can have the greatest impact on gun violence this country has ever seen. Are you with me? And that, my friends, gives me the greatest hope of all. Thank you.
How many people did you call? 8.
Thank you, thank you. So let's give it up for Blanche. She's great. I don't know, should I be worried about Blanche? Hello, everybody. I'm Diana Taylor. I've spent the last 20 years of my life with Michael Bloomberg. You might say, I'm the first woman for Mike. And to everybody in this room, congratulations for being at the start of what we hope is a long campaign. And I'm really excited. I know I don't have to tell any of you, but to me, this election is the most important one we have ever been involved in as citizens of the United States of America. I personally am sick and tired of getting up every single morning, reading the news, and finding another 10 things that make me sick to my stomach and scared for my country. We all know we need to get rid of the guy in the Oval Office. But knowing that is not enough. We need a candidate who has the right experience and a proven track record of getting things done. And I'm here to tell you that Mike Bloomberg is that person. As a woman who co-founded a small business and has worked on search committees for years, I know what it is to look for a job candidate. I know the right questions to ask in a job interview, and just like all of you who have ever hired anyone, first you figure out what's the job. Second, what kind of person do you want for that job? Third, what experience does that person need to have had? So let's talk a little bit about the job of President of the United States. You're a leader. You build teams. You make really difficult decisions with too much information or none at all. You all know what that's like. And you have to be able to work with people to get stuff done. And you need to get stuff done. You want someone who is the first one in and the last one out every day. Someone who's loyal, truthful, someone who works well with others, someone who has actually built teams, someone who has values you know and trust, values that will never change, and judgment, someone who is a leader. I may be biased, but I think I just described Michael Bloomberg. He built a company starting with 3 guys in a room, and now it's over 20,000 people around the world, globally. That takes teamwork, leadership, and vision. And then he served his city. He won 3 elections to be mayor of the city of New York, America's largest and most progressive city. He turned great ideas into reality. He accomplished so much that made this city so much stronger. Imagine what he could do to the country. He improved the health of New Yorkers. He improved education. Under his tutelage, the city created 500,000 new jobs through 2 recessions, 500,000 jobs through 2 recessions. He is a total visionary, and he cares about customer service. This job is about customer service, right? And he wants to make American lives better. Mike and I want to lift every voice in this country. So let's help lift every single voice in this country together. And you all can help us do that. Sign up to help. Spread the word. Talk to your friends. So I'm excited to get to know all of you, and I'm looking forward to traveling around this country and meeting lots of women, all kinds of women, and helping them lift their voices. And we women are more than half the country. We are half of the workforce. We all care about women in the workforce, which is every single one of us, whatever it is that we do, and we must be heard. And to help figure out how you all can do the same, let me introduce someone to you. She was the Commissioner of Immigrant Affairs under Mike when he was mayor, and made New York a national model for supporting immigrants, Fatima Shamma. She is one of hundreds of people who worked for Mike and came back to work on this effort. And that is a sign of Mike's leadership and his ability to build great teams. Trust me, once you're part of the Bloomberg orbit, you are family. So everybody, please welcome Fatima Shamma. Fatima.
Has anyone told you how beautiful you look tonight? Women for Bloomberg, women for Mike. I am super excited. I'm Fatima Shama, and I, like all of you, am a woman for Mike. I'm honored to welcome you here tonight and to, in fact, say, welcome to Team Mike 2020. I'm thrilled to be supporting Mike in his run for president, and I am serving as the campaign's national director for constituencies and coalitions. This election, women, and girls, right? This election is too important, and we all need to have our voices heard. I first met Mike in 2006 when I joined his team at City Hall as the Senior Education Policy Advisor. I have seen his leadership in action, and I am well aware of his ability to unite across communities. I know that Mike has what it takes to rebuild America. I'm so happy that all of you are here tonight to join us. Women for Mike is a movement that launches tonight with you and me and you, and we will take this country back. The best way to support this campaign is to elevate our voices, to connect and share Mike's message far, wide, and beyond. It is so important that you are a part of introducing Mike to everyone you know. Now, you are beautiful, it's 2020, and to spread the good word, we need a selfie. So, I'm gonna take a couple of photos, and we're gonna post them. It starts now. So beautiful women, are you ready? Yeah! Here we go. Beautiful people, are you ready? Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share it with hashtag Women for Mike, so that everyone in this room can find it and share it with your social media and tag at Mike 2020. Okay, we're on it? You're with me? All right. Here's what else we're gonna do. You are going to tell at least 10 friends, family, coworkers, people on the train, people at the supermarket. You are going to tell them why you support Mike. Super Tuesday states are critical for us. So if you have family or friends in Texas or North Carolina or California, we need you to reach out to them, to every single person across this country. We need house parties everywhere. We need you hosting parties everywhere. This moment is now. This moment is you working with us together. We will help you. We need to take back our country. We want you to volunteer for us, volunteer for Mike, knock on doors, speak to voters, call friends, make new friends, talk to your enemies, make them your friend, and of course, wear your Mike 2020 swag. T-shirts, buttons, bags. If you didn't get one when you came in, please get one when you leave today. Women, are you ready to do this? Yeah! Women for Mike, are you ready to do this? Yeah! Women for Mike, are you ready to do this? Yeah! Let's get this done. Thank you.
Our reproductive rights are under attack.
That is the most important thing for girls and women in our era.
1 out of 4 women in this country are victims of intimate partner abuse.
Over half of Indigenous women will experience some type of violence in their life.
All women also deserve to know that their reproductive rights are not in danger of being taken away.
And I believe that women deserve to feel safe.
Women deserve to be safe on college campuses.
All women deserve to be safe at home, regardless of their immigration status or the language they speak.
And I deserve a stable future and a healthy one too.
I deserve to live in an environment with clean air and water.
Women deserve the right to make choices about their bodies.
Women should have the right to choose.
My body, my choice.
This country is worth fighting for. And right now, we need a leader that has morality at the core of what they do.
Hello, everybody. My name is Amika Padia, and I'm a woman for Mike. Let me tell you why. In 2011, when I was 12 years old, Mike launched a campaign called Beyond Coal to close down coal plants that poison the air and water. He announced it in front of a dirty coal-fired power plant in Virginia. I knew that plant very well because it was right by my house. As a kid, I had terrible skin allergies and respiratory problems that got worse and worse as the plant continued to pollute the air. I couldn't spend a lot of time outside, which no kid should have to go through. If I traveled, I had to bring a face mask, just in case I happened to come across a coal plant. Thousands and thousands of American kids around the country face problems like I did, all because of coal. Mike thought that was unacceptable, and he decided to do something about it. Well, guess what? Since Mike launched his fight against coal, 302 coal plants have been closed. One of the plants that was closed was the one near my house. It no longer poisons the air that kids in my community breathe, and around the country, families are breathing easier because of Mike. The Beyond Coal team heard my story, and I was invited to an event where Mike introduced me. I was a little surprised when I met him. I thought he would be, well, I didn't really know what he would be like, but he was really down to earth, and you could tell that he genuinely cared. He even gave me an important piece of advice: apply to Johns Hopkins. I'm glad I listened, because now I'm a junior there, and I absolutely do love it. I'm studying biomedical engineering, and I'm designing a medical device with doctors and engineers at the Hopkins Hospital that Mike has generously supported. And if I ever forget who recommended I go to Hopkins, it usually comes back to me as I'm going to the Bloomberg School of Public Health or rushing to make my 9 a.m. in the Bloomberg building. I admire Mike because he does what he really believes in, and he gets things done. He truly represents us, and he has a vision to make our planet and our country a beautiful and a safe place. He's a great person, and I know he will make a great president. Which is why I'm very honored to support him in this campaign, and very honored when I was given the opportunity to return the favor and introduce him. So, Women for Mike, please join me in welcoming my friend, the former mayor of New York City and the next president of the United States, Mike Bloomberg.
Well, good evening. What a great crowd. Thank you all for coming. It seems like we're just here 20 years ago. Great to be back in this room. We did have an election night victory party here a few years ago. Does anyone think we can make that happen again? I think so too. Let me start by saying thank you, Ami, for that introduction. She has a bright future, and I'm sure she's getting better grades at Hopkins than I did. I've always said I was the kind of student that made the top half of the class possible. Seriously, her story is a reminder that combating climate change isn't about giving up the things we need, but about investing in those things we want. Cleaner air and water, cheaper power, and more jobs. Ami and young people like her will bring about the change that we need. So let's give it up for her one more time. Since launching our campaign 7 weeks ago, I have been in 40 cities across 20 states. So I'm very glad to be back home in New York. Having said that, I leave tomorrow morning for California, Utah, Washington, D.C., and 2 other places, and I'll be back just in time to change my clothes and back on the road again. It's such an honor to be endorsed by passionate New Yorkers like Virginia and Shani, as well as longtime supporters like my friend Audrey and Lorraine, not to mention Diana Taylor. I had to mention her name, or tonight it'd be very tough when I went home. Those 3 women first supported my run way back in 2001, and a lot has changed in those 2 decades. Back then, Donald Trump was just a failed businessman who desperately wanted to be on TV. Well, I guess not much has changed, actually. But here's what's as true today as ever before. All of my success in life, everything I've done, is thanks to the strong women around me. And that starts with the first woman that I ever met, my mother, Charlotte. My sister and I learned so much from her, and when I became mayor, I would call her the exciting news, and she would just say, "Don't let it go to your head." I curled her just about every day when I got to work until she passed away at 102 years old. And I'm glad to say that my daughters inherited her smarts and toughness. And it's clear my little granddaughter has too, even at age 4. Zelda, if you hear about this, to quote your great-grandmother, don't let it go to your head. Now, I've always said that the greatest inheritance I can leave my daughters is to make the world a better place for them and for their families. But I have to say that I am worried. Because right now, in many parts of this country, and certainly in Washington, women's rights are under attack, and so are women themselves. The president wields his bully pulpit and his Twitter account to demean women on a regular basis. But it's not only his words that are damaging, it's also his actions. President Trump has blocked Planned Parenthood from receiving Title X federal funding. He has tried to eliminate the Obamacare requirement that insurers cover contraceptives. And thanks to his appointees, for the first time since Roe v. Wade, we face the possibility that a majority of the Supreme Court won't recognize a woman's right to make her own decisions about her own body. Meanwhile, we have a maternal mortality crisis and an infant mortality crisis unlike any other first world country. And as with so much else, women of color are bearing the brunt of those crises. President Trump hasn't done anything to address these challenges and inequities. Instead, he has made them worse. We need a president who will protect the health and rights of all women and not try to undermine them. And I promise to do exactly that. On my first day in office, I will reverse the damage President Trump has done to women's rights. With the goal of ensuring every woman has access to reproductive health care. I will work with Congress to codify Roe v. Wade into law, which is long overdue. And I will support and fund Planned Parenthood as I've done for years. When I was mayor, we increased access to emergency contraception, which helped us dramatically reduce unwanted pregnancies, particularly among teens. And women's health and choice are also an important part of my foundation's focus. We have made real progress securing women's rights and reproductive rights, not only in the United States, but around the world. We have supported organizations like Emily's List, working to elect women up and down the ballot. Women have been at the core of my life's work, and they have been at the core of every single team I've built in business, government, and philanthropy. On every issue I'm involved with, women are leading the way, including the moms demanding an end to gun violence, and the young women walking out of their schools in support of climate justice. And when we defeat President Trump in November, I know it will be because women rose up to say, enough. Now let me talk a little bit about what's in stake in 2020. I am running to defeat Donald Trump. I warned in my speech at the 2016 DNC convention in Philadelphia that Donald Trump was not fit for office, and he has been much worse than even I imagined. We can't simply survive 4 more years with him in the White House. But to rebuild America, we need to do more to win in November. I'm running to unite the country, to bring people together, and to start getting things done. My whole career, I've been a doer and a problem solver. And I believe we need less talk, less partisanship, less division, less tweeting. In fact, what about no tweeting from the Oval Office ever again? This is a campaign for change, for sanity, honesty, inclusion, compassion, and human decency. And it's a campaign to build an America to be proud of. An America for all people, black, brown, white, urban, rural, suburban, gay, lesbian, transgender. We will build an America for all those who want the opportunity to work hard, to succeed, and to build for their families. Together, we can turn this country around. So if you want quality health insurance for everyone, and a program to stop the devastating opioid addiction and abuse crisis, if you want to combat inequality with fairer taxes and better jobs, if you want to make college more affordable and relieve the crushing burden of student loans, if you support my commitment to quality education no matter what zip code you live in, if you share my belief in opportunity for all and not just for a few, and if you are ready to clean out the Oval Office and get things done, then welcome to Bloomberg 2020. I am so grateful to have the support of Women for Mike, and I hope you know that you will always have mine. Good night, and thank you so much. We've got to take this country back.